One night I was watching the news, Walter Cronkite, I believe, and I get this call, and it's a panicky voice, almost screaming, saying, "You got to get down there. You got to get down here. Hurry down here." And I said, "What's the matter, Jess?" He says, "These fuckers are trying to kill me down here. They're murdering me. You got to get down here. You got to get down here." And I said, "Well, where are you?" And he says, "I'm at Denver County Hospital in the jail unit. Get down here as soon as you can." So I jump in my car, drive into Denver to the hospital on 6th and Bannock, I believe, and go up to the room. And here's my client. At that time, he was about 67 or 68, laying in a hospital bed in the jail section of the hospital, with his arm handcuffed to the bed. So I asked him what the panic was, and he says, "These guys are trying to kill me. They've had it in for me my whole life. But Jesus, this is just too much." I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Well, we were coming out of the bar, and everybody sort of left, and I was having some angina. And I leaned over the steering wheel, resting, and this bull comes up." That was his term for a cop. And he slams his flashlight on the window pane of my car and motions me to roll the window down, which I do. And he says, "Okay, old man, we've got you this time. We wanted you a long time. You're under arrest." And I said, "What for?" "Drunk driving." I told him, I said, I'm not driving. I don't even have the key in the car. I'm having a heart attack. You got to help me. I'm having a heart attack. Well, the young cop didn't believe him. So he loaded my client into his car and took him over to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office to book him for drunk driving. Now, my client wasn't a stranger to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office or other area sheriff's offices for that matter. In fact, he'd been arrested some 86 times and never got convicted. Of course, one of the cases I handled for him broke that record. In any event, the sheriff knew the guy. He looked at him, he says, and by then he was not looking very good at all. And the young patrolman said, "This guy claims he's having a heart attack." And the sheriff knew him. He says, "He probably is. He's had a few of them here." He says, "Get him to the hospital. We don't want him dying here." So they load him back into the car and rush him to a hospital in West Denver. Now, Jefferson County Jail's in Golden, Colorado, which is a suburb west of Denver. They take him to St. Anthony's West, and they look at him one time, and right away they say, "We don't want him dying here. Take him to Denver General." So they take him to Denver General. And in the meantime, his heart stops somewhere between St. Anthony's and Denver General. Well, they get him onto this gurney and rush him into the emergency room. And they need to put the paddles on him to jumpstart him. And the doctor's telling the cop to take the handcuffs off so he can jumpstart him. And the cop's telling him regulations are that all prisoners have to be handcuffed. And the doctor's trying to explain to the jailer that he ain't going nowhere unless his heart starts working again. And he should take the handcuffs off. Well, That doesn't work. Finally, they get the handcuffs off and they hit him with the paddles, and his heart starts again. So the policeman re-handcuffed him to the bed. Then it sort of stops. Not noticing that he's re-handcuffed to the bed, the emergency room doctor jumps on the bed with the paddles and gives him another jolt. The current goes through my client, goes through the bed, puts a waffle pattern on the doctor's knees, and they're having a big fight now over whether or not they can take the handcuffs off while they jump start him again. So by the time I get down there, there's burns on my client. There's burns on his wrist from the electrical current and all this kind of stuff. Well, to add insult to injury, when he finally gets discharged from the hospital, he's presented with the bill for the electric charging machine, which shorted out in the procedure, as hospital stay and things such as this. So it was one of my little funny incidences dealing with some organized crime figures in Denver that I thought was kind of funny. It's interesting how stereotyping and the insidious reward system for police works to the point where it almost kills somebody. Anyway, we'll have another story tomorrow, maybe. Everybody take care now and have a good day.